What's up, everybody? We're a couple of weeks out from fall camp. Miami Hurricanes are ready to rock and roll in 2026. It's national championship or bust, as we all agree, but there is still work to be done on the recruiting trail for the 2027 class. So let's jump on board on this topic. And the topic is, who are the players that the Hurricanes should still work on to flip? Let's jump in. Welcome back, everyone, to Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez. Show hit that like button, subscribe, hype the video, leave your comments. Jump on board this train, man. It's going to be exciting. So, the Canes right now have the number 5 overall class, according to 247 Sports. At one point, it was number 3. But other teams, other schools have gotten more commitments. So, for example, Texas A&M has 26 commitments, while Miami has 20. Miami's average grade is actually higher than Texas A&M's. In fact, Miami's average grade per recruit is third overall behind USC and LSU, but it is ahead of Texas A&M, Oregon, Notre Dame, and Texas. But they all have more numbers, so therefore their classes are ranked higher than Miami's. Miami has 4 5-star commitments. Jaden Bryant, Israel Abrams, Nick Lanier, and Dante Wright. So they have a loaded class. We got a loaded class coming in. 15 guys of the 20 are 4-star and above. There's 5 3-star commitments. But there are still players out there, and there are still players that could be flipped. And here are 5 possibilities of a flip, according to 24/7 Sports, that we're going to go over, courtesy of Gabby Urrutia from Inside the U. And let's take a look at what he had to say and who those flips are. I think we pretty much have a good idea of who those players should be. And before I show you the list and go through the list that they have put up there, which I agree with, quite frankly, think about your top 5. Think about your 5 and think about it. And when we do this list, if it matches what you think, love to hear back in the comments who you have as your top 5. Because looking at this 5, I completely agree. I think the first one is more than evident and more than obvious. It is one DJ Jacobs, the number 1 recruit in the country. DJ Jacobs has committed to Ohio State. A lot of people thought that he was going to be committing to Miami when he committed to Ohio State. There is still a lot of momentum with getting him down to Miami. He's been down to Miami. He's visited Miami. The Canes have Jaden Bryant already, and they have Javon Dawson already committed. And Miami's been in the mix for DJ Jacobs for quite some time. And until he signs on the dotted line in December, Miami Hurricanes need to continue to recruit this young man. Because if you grab him, you're probably going to end up grabbing his brother a year later. And that's a big time win. So DJ Jacobs, defensive end, number 1 player in the country. If you can flip him, well, guess what? Your class goes from being number 5 probably to number 1. It can be that quick because you hit that one. Well, guess what? It hurts. While Ohio State's ranked number 7 overall, if you look at the numbers overall, that recruit elevates Miami pretty good, in my opinion. You would see an immediate elevation with his addition. Now you continue on. The position of need that the Canes have is tight end. Jackson Dollar, he has committed to Georgia. And this is obviously an area that the Canes desperately need to fill up. We do have Gavin Mueller and Israel Briggs, but the way you develop and the way you become that force is by stacking talent on talent on talent. And Miami has had some great tight ends in the past, including Elijah Arroyo, and long before them. But can you flip him? Can you flip Jackson Dollar? He is currently rated as a 5 star. He's the 28th ranked player in the country. Again, you're talking about two guys right there that if you can flip them and grab two, and I'm saying if you can flip them both, you got two 5 star guys. Now you have a 6 5 star class, a position of need, no question. He's 6'3.5", 222 pounds, and he is committed to Georgia. Can the Miami Hurricanes flip him? My guess is probably not. Although I think DJ Jacobs at some point will flip to Miami based on what I've read and what I've seen. So that's one I do think will flip. I don't think Jackson Dollar will flip, but it would be big to make that happen. Moving on, Myson Johnson Cook, who committed to Auburn. This guy was one that everybody seemed to think was a Miami lock. And then on commitment day, he decided that he was going to Auburn. And the only thing that could potentially say the reason is the bag must have been really big at Auburn. It must have been bigger than Miami's bag, and that's why he made that call. I don't know for sure. He's out of East St. Louis High School in East St. Louis, Illinois. He's a 4 star, 94, 78th in the country, 6'2", 235-pound running back. He's a monster size back. It was a surprise. It was a surprise. Now, could he flip? Possibly. Gabby says here that if Auburn struggles in year one of Alex Golish, maybe he reconsiders. I don't think it's a financial thing at this point, even though I think he got a major bag at Auburn. But if they don't do well, that can certainly help Miami. Moving on, David Fulleronshu, who committed to Notre Dame. I'm gonna be real. I don't think there's any chance in hell of flipping this guy. He's a top shelf offensive tackle. And I really don't think there's any chance that he flips just based on his commitment, the way he committed. He is a 5 star guy as well, ranked 31st in the country in the composite. Sorry, defensive line. I said offensive line. Defensive line. He's 6'3", 280 pounds. I would be surprised if he decided to flip. He's close to home. Chicago is a 2-hour ride from South Bend, not that far. There's relations from the coaching staff from his high school who played at Notre Dame. I just don't see it happening, but that would be one hell of a pickup if it does happen. But I don't think that one's a flip. But it is something that they should continue to recruit now. The final one will be one in which I have I have mixed emotions about because this was a guy that I thought that the Hurricanes were a lock for. Even when people were saying Texas A&M, I was like, everything I've been told, it says Miami. He's been telling everybody Miami, and he must have just flippity floppity. I don't know what, but and the way he did his commitment on TV, on the internet, whatever, was just not one that I enjoyed. It's one thing to get dumped. It's another thing to get dumped and then get spit in your face. That was what it was like when Mark Matthews decided to pick Texas A&M. When Mark Matthews jumped on that chair and did all that stuff and threw the Miami Hurricane hat after, it just was like, oh my God, man. Like it's bad enough that you dumped us, but you dumped us and then you spit on us. And we're your home. Like, why would you ever spit on your home? I just thought that was a 17-year-old not thinking straight and people not advising him like, yo, don't do this. This is not the greatest idea. I don't know if he told people or not, but clearly the way he handled it, I thought was not the classiest, to say at least. I mean, he's the top offensive tackle in the country. He's down here in South Florida. And I am conflicted because of how he handled himself. Because how you handle yourself, I actually pay attention to. Like you look at the way a young man like Malachi Tony handles himself. He handles himself with dignity and class and etiquette. He doesn't talk a lot of stuff. He just carries himself a certain way, almost like a silent assassin. Whereas this one here, the way he made his commitment was like, look at me, look at me, look at me. Bro, you play on the offensive line. The offensive line is not a look at me position. Offensive linemen are supposed to be into knocking people's heads off and not being a showman. Like that's just the way I view it. Like you're here to knuckle up, put your fingers in the dirt and run people over. Not show off. Be that dog, man. And that just it gave me diva wide receiver vibes, man. I don't know. Maybe did it give that to y'all? I don't know. But Mark Matthews picked Texas A&M, and how about if A&M doesn't play as well this year? Will it still be the Elko era? Because last year we all know that Texas A&M had a fairly powder puff schedule. Like you could deny it. They had a powder puff schedule. They did not play a great schedule. Last season it was kind of weak. It was kind of weak. With UTSA, Utah State, Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, Arkansas, LSU, Missouri, South Carolina, Sanford. Like that's garbage. They did play Notre Dame. They won by a point, and they did play Texas, which they lost. And then they played us, and they lost. So it's like your schedule for an SEC school was was soft. It was soft. It was as soft an SEC schedule as it gets. And the South Carolina game, they were lucky to win. The Arkansas game, lucky to win. Auburn struggled. Like they struggled in a lot of games against lesser than teams. So what happens if the Elko era doesn't look too good this year? You never know. Every year is different. So he would be the final guy. If you could flip a couple of these guys, though, if you could flip two of these five guys, I mean, that's big time. But hey, y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments of these five dudes. Which ones would you love to see them flip? If there's other players out there that you want to see them flip or go for, what are y'all thoughts? Like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. It's Hurricanes Unfiltered, man. We're just a couple weeks out, baby. Powered by Come On Now, the podcast. And we will be starting Hurricanes Unfiltered live August 2nd, Sunday night. So be ready. Appreciate y'all. God bless, man. Let's go.